And Nathaniel, you can just go all for it looks like camera 2. And so as we are here, we are very much betwixt and between. We are very much betwixt and between in a lot of different ways. Last week on Shabbat evening, we actually did Slichot because that was the give us a long stretch of having time of getting ready for the end of the month of Elul and the beginning of the new year. And usually at Slichot, what you do is you change the Torah covers. But we didn't do that because I knew that we also had this Shabbat where we would be gathering together as a community, and it's not yet the Yamim Norim, it's not Days of Awe yet, it wasn't quite time. We changed one of the tablecloths, and then we changed another tablecloth. Tonight we're going to actually put the whites on this Torah, but you might notice the Torah is still kind of not quite itself. It's missing its silver because the silver is with the other Torah cover over at the Unitarian Fellowship. Because just to keep it a little more interesting, we're not even doing our Yamim Norim, our Days of Awe, in this room, in this building. Instead, we're going to be in another place, so we're really still not quite there yet. It's getting closer. And you are part of that. And so we're just taking it stage by stage and step by step. Tonight I am going to be reading from Parshat Nitzvaim. This is in Deuteronomy. It is chapter 30, verse 11 through 13. 11 through 16, I think I'm reading. And this is a portion you'll hear in a few weeks on Yom Kippur morning. Getting to the very end of Deuteronomy, you can tell from the scroll that we are getting very close to the end of Torah before we get to Simchat Torah and we roll it back. And this is one of those moments of covenant and community where the people of Israel are gathered and God says, here's Torah, here's the relationship, are you all in? And it's really pretty amazing to read this right here, right now, as we're in that last 48 hours of this year. With each of these steps, I was standing there, I'm like, this is the last time in 5,782 that I'm singing Echad Eloheinu, because the next time we sing it, we're going to be in the midst of a new year. And so it's one of those moments of time that we acknowledge that the year is passing, and it's one of those moments when we realize how powerful it is to gather as community. So in the vein of community, I would like to call up for an aliyah, Lara Gould and her grandma Judy Knapp. And Lara is visiting her grandmother, and it is wonderful that she is here. Lara became bat mitzvah here in this congregation many years ago, and she was starting to count, and then we realized that Nathaniel hadn't even been born yet. It's still the same Torah. So you all are going to come over to the side. You're going to use that to touch here. Touch. Yeah. Yeah, touch, and then you kiss the binder to say, my words are going right there, and then bless. Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute, sorry. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Ki hamitzvah hazot asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. Behold, these commandments, these moments, these ways of connecting that I give you, that I obligate you to, that I command you hayom this day, no lo nifleti. They are not mimcha. They are not so wondrous for you. V'lo rachokahi, and they are not far from you. Lo bashamayim hi. They are not in the heavenly, more that you might say, Mi ya'aleh lanu Hashemayma. Who's going to go up to heaven for us? Vayikacheha, and take them lanu and bring them to us. V'yashmi'enu at ota, so that we can hear them and do them. V'na'asena. V'lo me'ever layam ha'i lemor, and they're not across the sea, that we might say, Mi ya'avor lanu el ever hayam, vayikacheha lanu, v'yashmi'enu a'ota v'na'asena, that we might say, who's going to go across the sea for us and get them for us, so that we can hear them and do them. Ki karov elecha, advar ma'od bepicha, ubilvavcha la'asoto, because they are close to you. These words are so close to you. They are within your mouth, they're within your heart, so that you can do them. Re'eh, natati lefanecha hayom et hachayim ve'et hatov. Behold, I set before you this day life and goodness, ve'et hamavet ve'et hara, and death and evil, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom, so that I can offer you this direction, la'ahava et Adonai Elohecha, to love Adonai your God, la'lechet b'drachav, to walk in God's ways, lishmor mitzvotav v'chukotav mishpotav, and that you should be able to do the mitzvot and the rules and the laws and the precepts, v'chayita v'ravita, v'racha Adonai Elohecha be'eretz asher atah ba'shama l'rishna, so that you can live and you can prosper and you can be blessed, that God will bless you in this land that God is giving you in order to inherit. Find this.
Talanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu, baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Now, I did, in fact, promise pomegranate puckers, because no aliyah is complete without pomegranate puckers. But I also want to offer you a blessing. Do I need to offer more pomegranate puckers? Okay. Depends on who you're sharing them with. Misheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Tzarif Karachel v'le'ah, U'yivarech ha'olim ha'eleh, sha'alu l'kvod ha'makom v'l'kvod ha'torah v'l'kvod ha'shabbat, ha'kadosh baruch hu yishmeren v'yatilen mikol tzara v'tzukah, u'mikol negu u'machal, yishlach bracha v'hatzlacha b'kol ma'aseh yadeihen, im kol Yisrael acheihen v'namar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Lara and Judy. They have come forward to honor God, the Torah, and Shabbat. May the Holy One of blessing keep and protect them from all trouble and sorrow, from every affliction and illness, and send blessing and success to all of their worthy endeavors, along with all of the people we say, Amen. Thank you so much. Shabbat shalom. As I offer those words, as I read that section of Torah, I do so with quite a bit of intent, actually. One of those passages that always catches my attention, that always holds my attention, of that way of looking at the world. Lo b'shamayim hi, it's not in heaven. Lo rochaka hi, it's not far from you. We all have reasons, we all have those excuses of why we can't get to the places where we need to be. And yet here in this portion it says, keep it simple. Lo, it is not me'ever hayam, it's not across the sea, right? We don't have to keep looking further and further and further away for answers or solutions or for tasks to do. That sense of community, it is connected and it is close by. I shared this reading, this portion, and I do so, as I said, with lots of intent, because in fact, in the next few days, in the next few weeks, I'm offering to you lots of opportunities to stand Me'ever HaYarden, not Hayam, not HaYarden. If anyone would like to go to Israel and go over to the side of the Jordan, we can work on that. That might take a little more planning. However, I am offering you a chance to stand on the side of the sea. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, disregard the Shabbat reminder that the date was one day off. I'm assuming that everyone figured out that the Shabbat evening service is tonight and that Shabbat morning is tomorrow. It was a typo. I was not the first one who was having date and day issues this week, I assure you. Tomorrow morning, we're going to stand at the edge of the sea. We're going to look across at a view where you can't see the other side, and we will have a chance to live out these words. To both be in that place that has that infinity where we can look out across the ocean. It's got that place that we feel that boundary of the infinite water coming into the finite beach, that we can see and feel those waves that go on endlessly. We will have that opportunity in that place to stand there as a community and feel this. To look around, to feel the sand beneath our feet, to be in that place and feel this challenge that says, stop looking so far, stop making everything that much more difficult. Keep it simple because God is in that simplicity. And then on Monday afternoon at 3, we'll be at Young's Park for Tashlich. Again, a place of boundary where the water meets land. We'll have a chance to cast off and release. And it's the same kind of thing. We can hold on to the stuff that slows us down, that distracts us, that pulls us away from the directions we're going, or we can release it. We can use that ritual of Tashlich, of finding, we'll sing it as our closing song, a clean heart, of letting go of the stuff we need to let go of finding the direction we want to go. That is just the simplicity and the challenge of Nitzavim. That we have these incredible rituals. We have these moments where we will stand in these places. Are we going to say, I don't have enough time? Are we going to say, I'm not into that kind of thing? What are we going to say that might take us, just like the people of Israel standing Me'ever HaYarden on the shores of the sea, and they said, I'm not sure if I can do all of this covenant. It's beyond me. When in fact God says, don't say that it's in heaven and somebody has to go get it. It's right there. Don't say it's so far away, it's so complicated that you say it's across the sea and someone has to get it. What are we supposed to do? Just very simply, if we have set before us blessed life and blessing, curse and evil, and death and evil, what do? Choose life. Choose blessing. Sometimes it's what comes to us, and sometimes it's what we create. Sometimes it's in the midst of our laughter, and sometimes it is in the midst of our fear, and our loss, and our sadness, and our tears. Nitzavim is a challenge to live in relationship, to live in covenant, to not stretch ourselves and our vision into places where we can't go, to always look up and out into the heavens and across the sea, but not to use it as an excuse not to find our way forward. I invite you to join me tomorrow morning. I invite you to join me for Tashlich. And if you're not able to be at any one of those times, but you want to stand at the shore of the sea or the banks of the lagoon and do some of these rituals, just ask. Because I am happy to share it. I'm happy to stand with people in those times, places, whether you can join us tomorrow or Monday, or you need another time. That moment and those spaces are so important to be able to feel that connection, to go into this new year with a clean heart, ready to move forward, as I say. Amen.